The more you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. That's a quote by Dr. Zeus. This is episode 268, my book reflections.
You're listening to The Hidden Why with your host, Lee.
G'day, gang. Welcome to The Hidden Why podcast. I hope you're well. My name's Lee Martinuzzi, The Hidden Why guy, helping people discover their hidden why so they can go live life with greater passion and purpose. Every week on Friday, guys, I do review a book. For those of you who are familiar with the process, you'd be well aware of that. Today, however, I am not reviewing a book. I am giving you a guide. It's a how-to guide, how to create a healthy reading habit and why you might want to do this. So I'm going to share my thoughts on that today to inspire you to pick up some more books this year. Certainly, if you're an enthusiastic reader already, perhaps this show isn't for you. But if you're looking to read more, perhaps you're not currently reading that many, and I don't know what many is for you, but one a year is probably not enough, and that is what the average reads, then pick up some more books to do yourself a favor. It is life-changing. So guys, enjoy this thought, and if you do love it, share it with your network on Facebook, Twitter. Join us there as well. We do have a Facebook page and Twitter account. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to thehiddenwhy.com, and check out THY TV. That's it from me, guys. Enjoy the show.
This is The Hidden Why, discussing ideas and thoughts on living life with passion and finding your hidden why, your reason, your purpose.
G'day crew, welcome to this week's episode, The Hidden Why podcast, my book reflections. Today, guys, it is a how-to guide, how to create a healthy reading habit and why. I just love that quote from Dr. Zeus. Did you pick up on that? The more you read, the more things you will know. The more you learn, the more places you'll go. Guys, I never, and for those of you who are familiar with my story, would probably know this if you've tuned into The Hidden Why for a while now. I never was a reader. At high school, at elementary school, I never really read that much. I don't know why. I don't think it's a neglection of my parents. I was the youngest of four, so perhaps they got a little bit busy and stopped that reading habit at night. Certainly something that we try to do with our girls when we can is really sit down and read a book with them. I know my brother does it a lot better. Him and his wife do it a lot better with their children every night. But certainly it's something that we try to do is read, and I think that creates that healthy reading fascination, curiosity, passion that you can carry through life. For me, it wasn't there. I never had it, and in high school, we were sort of asked to read books. Actually, in elementary school, I remember read these books, and I just didn't have any interest in reading them. And when I don't have interest in doing something, certainly I lack the motivation. And when you lack the motivation and don't have that interest, it's really hard to learn what you're trying to learn anyway. So whether you read fiction or non-fiction, I think reading just in general will really help expand your mind. It helps you learn. It helps you increase your knowledge. And that, for me, when I started this reading habit a few years back now, has really just had a profound impact on the direction of your life. For me, it is what has been really a catalyst for taking me from my previous existence, my previous life, towards living this life that is more true to myself. It's allowed me to become more confident. When you learn, you just have to think about what happens when you learn. You build this level of knowledge, and that's sort of a sense of power. And with that, you just become more confident. It also is great for just helping you become an expert in a particular field. Certainly, I read non-fiction books, mostly around personal development, spirituality, and that is why. And I've just grown my knowledge in it, and that's why I can talk on these topics with some level of ease. I can pretty much talk off cuff mostly on these topics, and as I continue to read, I continue learning, and I often find myself now reading similar things, similar thoughts. I mean, the world's knowledge is timeless, I believe, but just having a new expression, a new perception on that knowledge is really beneficial to help you absorb that message even further. Because when I read a book and I hear the same message that someone else has put in their book, if it's done in just their own unique, different way, I might absorb it a little bit better, or I might, just take the message on, take the essence of that learning on to a higher level. And that certainly helps me in life. So learning is fantastic. So your confidence, when you, and I've done an episode on this, guys, you can check it out. I'll stick it in the show notes earlier last year, episode 149 reasons why reading will improve and change your life. So I've stuck those reasons in there, guys, but there are just so many reasons that come. I mean, your mindset becomes much more stronger. You can increase your skills and talents. You can do it anywhere, anytime. You can take a book with you anywhere and always have that there. It helps you have a increased focus and clarity about things and about life. Certainly for me, reading books on philosophy help with that. It helps increase your creativity. It helps you create more discipline because you get into sort of a reading habit, and that creates certain disciplines in your life. What else is there? Here we go. There is a level of reading that is entertaining, and it's quite affordable entertainment, so you don't have to go out there and have an expensive habit to entertain yourself. It will really change your life. There's so many more benefits that I've had from reading, but today really what I wanted to share with you, because I'm sure, well, maybe you don't know the benefits. If you only read what the average read a year, and I mentioned this in the intro, but I believe the average reads like a book a year, and that's simply not enough. Now, when I started out, I wasn't reading really any books. I tried to read a book a year, and pretty much I was that average. And then the more I listened to podcasts, people talking about it, read, and I thought, okay, well, I've just got to do it. And it made sense to me because at the time I was watching mindless TV and in the evening, and I thought, well, I can get rid of that easy enough. And then there you go, there's my time to read. Because a lot of us will say, I just don't have time to read, I'm too busy. But I guarantee there's time in your day where you can better use yourself. And because you can have a book anywhere with you, every one of us carries a phone around with us now, and I didn't have this for a long time, but then I've just got iBooks now. So all my iBooks are on my phone. I've got, I don't know how many in my phone here, but there's 100, in my phone. So I can, wherever I am, if I'm waiting in line somewhere, if I'm at a train station, if I'm, just got that 10-minute window somewhere, rather than jumping on Facebook and things like that, I can just open up iBooks and continue reading a book that I started. So it's just a great way. And the power that it creates in my mind is just amazing. Like I'm reading a really cool book at the moment, and just the thoughts it gave me last night from probably reading, and I just had a 10-minute window, from probably reading about 10 minutes was just powerful. And it's got me thinking, and certainly that helps me do what I do as well. So guys, that's enough about the benefits of reading. Start reading. Really, the reason why I wanted to do this episode at the start of the year is to just encourage you, inspire you to get out there and pick up some books and start reading some more. So here's how to set yourself up for a great reading habit for 2017. I came across this blog in Lifehack. So Lifehack is a great website with a lot of different blogs and posts about how to hack life. And they have various categories, lifestyle, family, fitness, etc. And this one is 14 ways to cultivate a lifetime reading habit. So it's done by Leo Babauta. I hope I pronounced that right, Leo Babauta. So I'll stick the link in the show notes, guys. You can check it out and have a read yourself. I'm not going to read through it entirely. I'm just going to take the headings out and sort of just talk on them as best I can and sort of share with you my experiences with each of these. So the first one is, for a lifetime reading habit, is to set times. So schedule it. And we talk about this. I talked about it in my opening episode this year, in my solo show episode. I can't remember, but it was a couple of weeks ago on the Monday episode about setting up for a Kick-Ass 2017 and really coming up with a plan. When you want to do something, schedule it, when it's important to you. Certainly reading is one of those things. It's a learning activity, and I think that's a theme that we all need to do. If we don't stop learning, if we stop learning, we stop progressing. So reading is one of those things that can help you learn. Now, there's other ways you can learn as well, by doing courses, going to seminars, listening to podcasts, etc., etc. There's audio books and stuff like that as well. And certainly when I talk about reading, I talk about audiobooks as well, because I use them both hand in hand. But set yourself times, guys. If you set it into your schedule, you're going to create that discipline to do it. If you don't set it in there, you will find yourself just allowing other things to infiltrate it. And this is the important thing about a plan and a prepared schedule for your day, your week. It allows you to get things done and be more effective. So I certainly set times, and I started by doing that, as I just explained, doing it in the evenings. So just switching off the TV half an hour earlier altogether. We don't have the TV on unless we're watching. Actually, in Japan, we do put it on for the kids sometimes because we think it's beneficial for learning Japanese. But, just set yourself, just find that time in your day. And look, there's probably half an hour somewhere, a half an hour window somewhere, or maybe 2 15-minute windows, maybe an hour. A lot of people like to read before bed. Some people don't recommend this because it can sort of stimulate the mind to a level that doesn't or isn't conducive for sleeping. Look, I don't find that. I can sort of read and then go to bed and be quite comfortable. Dozing off, I doze off pretty quickly generally, so it's not a problem for me. But do what works for you. Set yourself the time. He also says, Leo, that's his name, Leo also says, carry a book wherever you go. Carry a book. And look, I don't know if this is something that I did in the past when I first started out, but it seems to be something that I certainly do now. Guys, I'm just pouring myself a cup of green tea here. I'm not going to the toilet. So yeah, carry a book wherever you go. And as I said, I've got those books in my iPhone, iBooks. I mean, I know there's a bunch of different applications out there, but just carry them around because you never know when you have that free time. And rather than going onto social media, you can read a book instead, and that's going to provide you a lot more benefits. And I don't disregard social media as being a great tool. There's certainly things you can learn from social media, but generally a lot of us spend way too much time on there, and our attention could be better spent elsewhere. So carry a book around with you. I actually put a book in my bag as well when I go to appointments, etc., and just pull it out and have a read if I've got a break or on lunch or something like that. So always carry a book. Number 3, make a list. Keep a list of books you want to read. This is a habit that I certainly don't have down pat that well. I do have in my what do you call it, scheduler or task planner, note taker, whatever you might call it. It's an app called Wonderlust. And in there I've got a books to read section. And at the moment, I'll be honest, I've only got one book in there. So I should use that a little bit more, but it's certainly a good idea is to keep a list of those books that you hear people talk about. And I hear them all the time because they interview such great people and they're always bringing up books, and I should just use this list more. The thing is, I get a lot of books sent to me for review for this show. So I don't, it's hard for me to consume more books than I'm already consuming. I consume a book a week, and that's at least my goal. It doesn't always happen, but mostly it does happen. So, make a list and keep those books down. There's certainly an episode I released a couple of weeks back on the top 10 books of 2016. So check out that. There might be a couple of books you'd like to read in there as well. So that was episode, let me just check for you, episode 258. You can check out the best books of 2016. Next one is find a quiet place. Certainly. I can't read when there's noise around me and distraction and things happening. I can do it, but it's a much harder task to do. And certainly when I do it, if there's noise around me, I find it harder to absorb the message. So find that quiet place, guys. You're going to absorb the message. You're going to enjoy it much more. Next one is reduce television, internet. So yeah, absolutely. We said that already. Turn off the TV, get offline, and that way you'll just put yourself more into books. So that's a really good habit. Read to your children. Read to your kid. Certainly a great way to read is to read to your kids. And this is, beneficial for you. I actually like reading to the kids because I can be sort of crazy and creative and very animated, I guess, when I'm reading through the books. And it's just fun. They love it. Lights them up. And by doing this, hopefully it'll create a healthy reading habit for the kid as well, or for your children. Keep a log. So this is new. He says, similar to the reading list, this log should have not only a title and author of the books you read, but the dates you started and finished them, if possible. There you go. Even better, put a note next to each with your thoughts about the book. It is extremely satisfying to go back over the log after a couple of months to see what great books you've read. Wow. And that's a good takeaway for me. I'll read 52 books a year, let's say. I could jot those down, put the start dates, finish dates, key takeaway points, and certainly that'd be a good log for me to put down. Now, I put them down in episodes, but mostly, and I don't review all the books I read because some I just don't connect with or don't resonate with enough to, be bothered to share it with you guys at The Hidden Why. But certainly that's a great idea. I like it. Keep a log. And certainly I like the idea of just reflecting on the books and really extrapolating what you sort of got out of it. I do that, as I said, through the book review section. And that helps me, create great learnings from it as well. Because when you read it, if you just read it and think about it, that's good. But when you actually write it down and get it out, express it, that just helps you increase that learning that you might have had from the books. So that's cool. Go to used bookshops. Yes, I did this before I left Australia. And again, I would still do it now. As I said, I get a lot of books already given to me, so I don't have that need to go out there. But man, I went to a bookstore a couple of years ago in Australia on the Gold Coast, and there was just like 50-cent books, dollar books, great books, like timeless books. You can get some really good bargains, and that'll help fill up your library as well. I like having a book library, but what I'm planning to do next year is really give more books away. So once I've finished a book, just send it forward, pay it forward, because I don't really need it on my bookshelf. It's only going to be an expense when I have to travel home or move next to lug all these books around. As much as I like the thought of having a bookshelf with all books on it, I think it's like an attachment to some ego. It's not what I need. It's certainly not what I need. So go to used bookstores. Have a library day. You can go to a library and certainly read. I don't go to the library and read, but certainly they're nice, quiet places to read. So that might be a good way to increase that habit. Some people might be too busy at home. They might be too distracted by sitting at home. So certainly by getting out of the house, going to like the library, it might just help you create that silence and space so you can really enjoy the process of reading. It might create that discipline as well. Read fun and compelling books, guys. I just think, you can read fiction, read non-fiction. As I said, I don't really read much fiction, and perhaps maybe I should try to do it a little bit more. But read books that are of interest to you. Read books that have meaning to you. Don't just force yourself to read crap or rubbish that you don't like, because you won't be able to do it. I started, when I started the reading process, I used to just read through every book, no matter what I was getting from it. And I always have the belief that every book that I read, I'll get one little nugget of gold to take away that will help me in my life. And that's pretty true. But sometimes now when I'm reading a book and I'm just not feeling it, I'm not getting it, I just put it down and I stop reading. And that's what's happened, because I feel that if it doesn't have that meaning to me, I don't have the motivation to read it, and I'm really just spending time and not really absorbing what they're saying anyway. So find books that are fun and compelling. That's a good point. Make it pleasurable, so make a reading time fun. Certainly that's a good way to do it. Nice comfy chair, a cup of coffee, whatever it might be, make it fun. Blog it, and certainly that's what I do. But if you do a habit of blogging about it, writing your thoughts about it, it's a great way to keep you accountable. Certainly that's for me, having this podcast once a week, that's the reason why I did it, is for accountability, because it had forced me to then read a book a week. I get to break it up, I'll be honest, by episodes like this where I've fallen a little bit behind, but generally I'm doing okay. Set a high goal. So if you want to read 50 books this year, put that as your goal. Log it, track it, measure it, and see how you're going. My thoughts on this are, you'd certainly need to set yourself a goal. Now, I didn't have a goal at the start. I think I sort of said maybe a book a month, and then I went to a book a week, because I was reading books, and my average book is about 200 pages. There's some that are longer, some that are shorter, but the average is probably around 200 pages non-fiction. So that's why I can get through it. I'm not a quick reader, guys. I'm not a guru reader. I certainly don't have, and correct me, guys, if this has happened, but some people talk about reading a book a day, or even in quicker times, like in half an hour, they sort of skim through it, and I don't know how they do it, but I don't feel that that's going to be much enjoyment for me, and I don't feel I'm going to take on the message. I really like to sit there and progress through it at my own pace. Set yourself a goal. Set yourself a realistic goal. If you've only read one book last year, maybe say, well, I'm going to read 10 books this year, one a month. Something like that. That's not too unreasonable. And then you just have to plan for it. You have to schedule it, and then just commit to it. Sit down and do it, and then track your goals as well. Measure it to make sure you're on track. If you're not, then you can go through that adjust and alignment sort of stage as well. So do that. Set yourself a goal this year. How many books are you going to read? And set yourself the time. His last point is have a reading hour or reading day. Yeah, you could do that as well. I don't. I just have, I sort of do have a reading hour where I sort of read in the evening before bed. But I read through the day, and as long as I have, I've created that discipline around reading now, as long as I read every day, at least for half an hour, I'm content. And sometimes it seems to be hard to fit in, but there's always time. And if you've got a book everywhere, you can read 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and it adds up pretty quickly. So guys, that's it for this show. Kick-ass 2017 of reading. Hope you love it. Let me know what you think. Jump onto thehiddenwhy.com. Leave your thoughts and comments there. If you have time, guys, I would like to ask you to jump onto iTunes and leave us a review at iTunes. You can give us a rating of 1 star to 5. Be honest with your rating and leave your comments in there, what you like about the show. It helps other listeners see it and say, okay, well, maybe I'll take a listen as well. So sharing is caring, guys. So thank you. Until next time, peace, passion, and purpose. Speak soon.
You're listening to The Hidden Why with your host, Lee.
Gotta love a good book, guys. I hope you've enjoyed my book review today, and I hope it's inspired you to pick up the book. Guys, I do have a deal with audible.com. Audible books are a great way to read more books. You can check that out at thehiddenwhy.com in the side menu and in the show notes for this particular episode. Get a free Audible book when you sign up for a free 30-day trial with Audible. Guys, as always, you can use the Amazon links in the show notes to purchase any of the books that we review at the show. You can actually do all your Amazon purchases through those links. It's no extra cost to you and it helps support the show. Guys, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this book reflection. Make sure you share it with your network. And until next time, you know what to do. You need to go out there, breathe more passion into every single moment, do everything with greater purpose, and in doing so, discover your hidden why. This is The Hidden Why. My name is Lee Martinuzzi, signing out.
This is The Hidden Why, discussing ideas and thoughts on living life with passion and finding your hidden why, your reason, your purpose.
THY crew, are you looking to discover your hidden why? Then take me up on this opportunity. It's a one-on-one complimentary coaching call valued at $250, where we chat and define your hidden why and the action steps that you can take to help living towards the life you truly desire. Guys, there's a limited amount of spaces available. What you can do is jump onto thehiddenwhy.com, go to the coaching tab, press the link, and then schedule a time that suits you. Would love to chat with you soon.